The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. And as always, we like to come to you at this time. Man, hopefully you could hear that. It sounded a little weak today. What do we got going on today? Well, we're off a little bit. We came off those highs yesterday on a little bit of skittishness on saber rattling. We're down about 6 points on the S&P cash as we speak. We were down another 6 points, so a total of 12. So we've gotten half of that back. Volume still is not all that exciting. 1.9 billion shares, just a little over 1.9 billion shares on the NYSE consolidated tape. But again, not a huge big move out here. A lot of stocks just going sideways on the 6-point move. And I would probably make a much bigger deal out of the last, 6 hours of trading. The end of yesterday and so far today, if it wasn't options rollover starting. Of course, 7 days, or actually 8 days before options expire on the monthlies, the option market makers go delta neutral. And that means that whatever they have to do to make sure that the only exposure they have is declining premium, that's it. They basically want to sell arms to both sides of the war, let it bleed off into the end. Normally, there's a bullish bias. 80% of the time, a week from Friday, it will close higher than today's low. So kind of at the very low end of the scale, 2462 would be that number. 80% of the time, it will close higher than that. Of course, what happens the other 20%? Normally, if you do not close above that, the low of today, it is a significant move down. So if you would see that level breached either later today or in the next week with some kind of gusto, normally that's going to be a huge continuation. It's just hard to see it. Earnings are both on the way high side and way low side. So you continue to see a little bit of indecision and nervousness, mostly around what happens in international waters, like the North Koreans. But I don't know. There's just I didn't see that many charts last night and this morning when I went through them. It would say that they had topped out and we're going to at least retest the highs. Same with the lows. So if you're bullish or bearish, you're probably right. It just depends how soon. I would love, if you wanted to be bearish, what I would love is for this to push higher one more time, maybe into 2490 or 2500 on the S&P cash on very light volume, and then get a bunch of individual stocks start giving some signals. Could it all fall apart? Market's been weak for a while. It's just that no volume really comes in. So if it's coming down, maybe this is what we're looking at, 5-7 points a day or something into a pullback. But a lot of stocks just way, way, way too short. As always, we like to start the day off with a little bit of history. It is history repeating on this day. In 1969, members of the Charles Manson cult killed 5 people in a movie director's home, Roman Polanski, including Polanski's pregnant wife, Sharon Tate. Less than 2 days later, the group killed again, murdering supermarket executive Lino Bianca and his wife Rosemary in their home. The savage crimes shocked the nation and strangely turned Charles Manson into a criminal icon. Of course, the book that came out, I think in 71 or 72, from, what was his name? Vincent Bulowski. Is that how you pronounce it? Bulowski. I think it's Bulowski. Vincent Bulowski, who was an attorney in that trial. I actually used the prosecutor in that trial, wrote the book about it, was the #1 selling true crime book of all time, and still is. Still sells a lot. But if you don't think that there's evil in the world, all you got to do is look in the eyes of them and a handful of other morons that hung around with those folks. But crazy and evil combined, always a bad combination. Of course, Sharon Tate wasn't meant to be picked up. That house was owned by a record executive before they bought it, and he thought that that's who lived there when we're talking about Charles Manson. So he sent the people there to that house, not knowing that it was a different bunch. But one of the worst and scariest things, I think, was that last summer or the summer before, they did a entire show on ABC. I think it was ABC, called Aquarius. That was the lead up to all that. I don't think that came back. I think they had 2 seasons of it. But yeah, scary. I remember reading the book. I think read it for high school, and always one of the most chilling parts of crime in the United States. Yeah, Dennis Wilson. But yeah, they went. He thought that he'd sold a lot of records, and that record executive had cheated him out of the money. Of course, they found out later that he'd sold 5 records. And I imagine that they were used for skeet shooting because he wasn't any good. But it does go to show you that some people, they just got a magnetic personality and attract the nuts. And he did so on this day in 1969. In one of the things we'll talk about and look at Disney, but I thought it was very interesting that everybody kind of glossed over this. A couple of years ago, there was all these stories about pink slime in the beef that we were eating. Well, it comes to find out that about 80% of it wasn't true. It was fake news. Walt Disney's deep in their earnings report revealed that the company spent $177 million to settle the litigation with the beef producers. They were on the hook for $6.5 billion on that, which would have been like a hit even to somebody like Walt Disney. But there's a little bit of truth, but a whole lot of lies, and they were going to go to court. Disney just decided to write a check for $177 million, and maybe something was wrong there. Pay $177 million to get out of all that will come out in court. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're going to go through some charts and some of my scans, although I suspect these things are leading the market by some length. And we're off 7 points on the S&P cash. What can you say out here? It's just kind of a big, for what we've had, it seems like just a huge move to be down 7 points. But my guess is that we are still going to wait for some kind of big signal. That means maybe an intraday spike of 20, 30 points that rolls back and gives it all in the same day. I just don't see enough stocks when I go through my scans every night that are busting out lows with higher volume to make me think that the whole thing's falling apart. I think it's a bifurcated market. We've got half doing very well and half doing poorly, but the part that's doing poorly is kind of making a bottom, and the part that's doing well is kind of making a top. So we've got kind of, I'm going to call it the Oreo market, and we're in that creamy white filling between two cookies. How's that for another tortured analogy? I think at the TFNN Awards banquet this year, I'm sure to get and win and walk away with the tortured analogy trophy. I think that's what I'm going to get. Best Buy. I've been by. This thing's fairly quiet. I think that they make a lot of money on iPhones. And I think everybody's running this thing up in front of it. This thing may be headed for a lot of disappointment. Volume was really light as it broke the previous high yesterday, basically 1/10. That's May 25th. You had 33 million shares for that gap up at 61.95. Hit it with 3 million shares yesterday. The day before, 3.5 million shares. Yesterday, 2.5 million shares. Just 1.3 million shares. And that's why I would have liked to seen a lot of these that are at their highs starting to see some kind of volume come in. Now, the day's not over yet, but, a lot of these that are up here on vapor for volume are not rolling over. Earnings are at the end of the month anyway, and these things, even if they're not doing well and on light volume, are tending to hold up all the way through earnings. Wanted to take a quick look at Intel. If you've been living under a rock, well, you want to come out, what is it, 22nd for the eclipse? But if you want to turn away and not look into the eyes of the sun, there's mama. That's where the fun is. We all know that. At that time, Intel is going to release all the details and show their latest versions of new chips that I've been waiting for. Hopefully, these are the ones, the droids that I want, because there's a couple of new features that we've been talking about for the last year. Theoretically, they're supposed to be in those new chips, so we'll be looking for that. They say that they will be showing those chips on the 22nd and shipping September 25th. So just about a month from the time they show to the time they ship. A lot of people are giving them, are kind of going after them for not going lower in size on the die size when AMD has gone very hard that way. But I think this is more about features than just being an incremental, smaller package, which has been the last few years. AMD's gotten on that bandwagon, but now Intel is going for new and much faster technologies for hard drives and memory, and we'll see if that develops. Well, smack dab in the middle of my show. I'm going to have to sneak out during the eclipse if it's on there at 2, because that's when I think it's going to be 82% here in Tampa, and that's between 2 and 3 p.m. So somehow, maybe the end of the world or the end of the show or both might happen that day. Okay, August 21st. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, I thought Intel was interesting. I wanted to watch some of these others out here today. Big Lots, this thing, of course, retail, not looking good. You had a big down sign of weakness on March 7th, did so on almost 2 million shares. Got into it 4 million shares yesterday. Was it 4 million shares yesterday? Actually, 600,000 shares yesterday. I got into it with 4.4 million shares back on May 26th at the same level. So we're coming back into it. It is within 0.5% of the high, which normally means that you're really looking for something else. Let's see. There we go. Much better view. You're looking at that May 26th high. Again, very light volume coming in here into the summer. But if you're talking about a lot of destruction today, a follow through, not getting it on a lot of these, and big is one of them. Yeah. I looked at it. There was they had, I think a local tour organization was having a 2-day thing up to, not Charleston, Savannah for $300. But seemed like an awful long time to go for 1 hour. But it would have been nice to go up there and see it. Beezer Homes. Another one, we talked about this one yesterday on light volume, 1.6 million shares back on December 8th of 2016. You spiked that yesterday with 700,000 shares. Opened up a little lower this morning, but right back up. And again, no volume, but these things are not falling apart today. And that's always the problematic side of these, is you want at least a handful of stocks out here really looking poor. What else do we have out here? Genesis Energy, Momo. Momo is kind of interesting. This one's up here with half the volume. I think we talked about this one yesterday. 13 million shares at 45.95. Got into it with about 7 million shares yesterday and down, but again, no juice today. What is that, right? 6 million shares yesterday. Is that right? Take a look at that. 3 million shares yesterday, 2 million shares today. So it's not like there's a flood of people getting out. Nike, we haven't talked about this one on the show for a while. It did test its high and did it with much higher volume from the August 24th, 2016 low, or high, excuse me, at 59.81. We broke that at $60.53. Yesterday, we were down on let's call it 5.6 million shares. Today, made a little lower low, but it's back up, got half of it back with 3.4 million shares. OIH, we were looking for some of these energy stocks to eventually bottom. This is finally, the OIH is finally into the sign of strength. It really started back in March of 2016. We will continue with this line of thought, if I can remember, to the break.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we said, some decent energy back here on March 3rd of 2016. You had a couple of days where you had kind of a big push. It went sideways for a while, then started moving higher. Now we're into this very gappy area on the OIH that goes through that pretty much to about mid-second week of February. That's the February 11th low. So you got a little gaps out here. You may get a little bit more motion, especially to the downside in these oil stocks that continue. Already have significantly more volume today than you had yesterday. We see that in the volume yesterday being 5 million shares. We already have 7.5 million shares already in the OIH today. So that may tell you a little bit about what they were expecting for, get this moving over here. Come on. For commodities, especially with gold up 18.5 bucks, but oil just up 29 cents. So, we had the end of the OPEC thing, no big deal there. We're up 6 cents on natural gas, and pretty much within the next week, historically, has been the best time to buy natural gas. Normally, you want to see how that works out, but we're probably somewhere around. Can't say that natural gas is going higher, but normally you find some kind of decent lows out here. The big move in gold, of course, would have liked to seen maybe a little bit more happening. 46 cents in silver, but nice move. Anyway, what else do we have on my list of stuff? Southern Copper, this thing's been topping out for a couple of days. I know everybody how much they love it. The energy was about the same on the way up as on the way down. February 10th, $39.38, got down to $34.51. Did so with okay volume, no big deal. Got right back up here, and this is where it's kind of iffy because you had the previous high in this $39 area you had with 2 million shares. The best you could get out of there was 700,000 shares. It's now back, came back and picked up this gap up on the 25th of July. Now you've kind of come back to it with lighter volume, but today you would have liked to seen maybe some real turnaround, and you just really don't have it. So very light volume at previous high, pulls back into the gap with lighter volume, but again, you're not really moving up very strongly out here. If it would have had lighter volume on the way back up and less energy, I would have thought maybe that might pull back, but it's kind of iffy at the moment. Let's see what else we have out here. A lot of also runs. Six Flags Entertainment is kind of making a low out here, but not holding that low. $54.67 on July 25th. 2.3 million shares. Getting into it with 600,000. Well, let's call it 700,000 shares. Is that right? Yeah, 700,000 shares. Yesterday, you had 1.1 million shares, so you're still down here with about half the volume. And when you look at Disney's earnings from last night, they could have been horrifically bad if it wasn't for the theme parks. Of course, this thing did gap down mostly on a few things. But I guess it's just ESPN and cord cutters. They said they're, of course, going to make their own streaming service to compete with Netflix for family-oriented programs, which I'm just surprised they haven't done a long time ago. They've got their own Disney Channel, which is just my head wants to explode if I go buy it on cable because it's always inane, poorly produced and written shows. But they're for kids, so maybe the kids don't care. But it makes me want to, gives me a headache fairly quickly. But they got 20 years of that stuff that kids are going to watch, and along with some cartoons. So, streaming, probably not a bad idea for them, for all that content. And as they continue to lose power in cable with ESPN kind of going away, it certainly makes a lot of sense for them to go back into their own streaming model, probably actually even make more money, I think, in the long run. It's just the movie part of their business and the fiasco that is now Star Wars that they paid $4.2 billion for, along with ESPN, their other boondoggle. No one wants to. People want to watch sports. They don't want to watch. They don't want to watch a bunch of other stuff. People go to avoid the political brouhaha on ESPN, not join in on it, and it continues to get worse. I went out and ate lunch. What was it, a week ago? They had ESPN on, and I thought we were watching some kind of cable news story station because they were knee deep in the politics of something that had nothing to do with sports, and I just figure that is probably not a good idea, and they're not waking up. So I don't think ESPN's going to get any better for the Walt Disney Company. Anyway, you broke through the previous lows. You're doing so on already twice the volume. So that's pretty much it. You got a gap at 95. I don't see any reason why you don't head back down to it. SLCA, which is Silica Holdings, going back to some gaps, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Smart Sand. Now, all these sand companies that were doing big in the fracking just really found out that, you could polish regular sand and get the same bang for the buck. I think was it carbon something or other? I think it's CRB or CBB, CRB. Can't remember the symbol. It used to be $160. I'll think of it here shortly. But all these smart sand and sand companies for that, just I don't know if there's any chance of them actually ever coming back. But this one may still make some money. This one does look like it's bottoming. It's back into the trading range and on very, very light volume. You saw 2.27 million shares on July 24th. This thing's just been hovering around the last 2 days. 618,000 shares today, just 317,000 shares. Carbo Ceramics, I'm thinking that's the one. Yeah, CRR. Take a quick look at that one. Okay. Same kind of thing, except, it's kind of going sideways on this one. Maybe these things do find some kind of low, but I'm thinking gas, crude needs $20 to $30 before these guys can be players again, if at all. At least found some level around here. 650 on Carbo Ceramics. Come back, we'll look at a few more. We'll look at some soda and snow. Fire and ice.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And of course, we had a few people wanting to talk about this one. Mostly because they wanted to hear the loser horn for the day. And, well, you can't say anything about it. Priceline has been pushed up for the last 3 quarters on nothing. And it finally gave up the ghost. I'll look through the earnings report over the weekend. But a lot of these had many gaps down below that look like they could all get filled. And the downside is that this one could theoretically come all the way back down to the 1180 area. Again, probably what you're looking for if you think of shorting this one is getting somewhere around $2,000 on this one. And then on light volume, that would probably be about where I would look to start pulling the trigger on it. EXPE had its earnings a little while ago, but same kind of thing. It just didn't come off all at one time. Earnings looked very good. They were basically blowing about their Airbnb having huge upside. I don't know if that's true, but they were able to hold this thing up through earnings on it and then sell off for a while. And 145 is probably support on it. Take a look at soda I wanted to look at. Again, this thing continues to have huge moves down on no volume. I just don't see it. I don't see people buying stuff for SodaStream. It must be somewhere outside of the country or certainly not around here. But this thing continues to perform. No weakness today after a huge sign of strength just a few days ago. Again, heaven and hell for a lot of these. Well, thanks for telling me now. Okay. What else do we have? We had SSYS with earnings. Take a look at that. Okay. Well, you had earnings This thing did gap up with a sign of strength back on the 18th of April, did so with 3.1 million shares, back into it today with about 1 million shares. We've been talking about this one for a while. I want her to buy these again. And as long as they continue to act well, maybe after some consolidation, they may find some nice bottoms out here, but that's probably a little bit lower in this one. You're basically at the last sign of strength. So you're going to need a lot of consolidation at this $21, $22 area to keep this thing up. What else do we have? Okay, 2466, which is off 8 points on the S&P cash volume, continues to be mild. We're still under 2.2 billion shares. That's extended stay. This thing has bounced off its gap down at $20.50 just a few days ago, August 2nd. No juice on that one either. So maybe these things are going to come in with volume later. Let's go over I've heard some people talking about tankers the last few days. This thing's been bouncing around this $3.50 level. This is Scorpio tanker. So we'll start taking another look at these things. Maybe they figured out a way to make money. But this one's actually not too bad looking around this $3.50 level. You hit it today, or actually yesterday on 1.15 million shares compared to 2.5 million shares. So you've got some fairly nice light volume in these. I know commodities are starting to pick up from Andy Heck, so maybe some of these bulk shippers are finally going to get around to getting off the bottom. They do. I think that some of these things may have some big moves in it. Target, did we talk about this yesterday? I think we did. We'll talk about it again today. Wanted to see how this one did against this huge gap down on earnings the February the 28th. Got into it. How much was that? That was down on 45 million shares. Got into it with 11 million shares on June 12th. Got into it yesterday with 8.1 million shares. Now this one's kind of rolling off, but again, no volume. So we'll continue to take a look at it. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. Again, no breaks out here. Lighter volume on a gap down, not a huge gap down. But again, trend line is intact in these semis, so I still don't see much going on in those. Wingstop. That one spiked through the previous high yesterday. And again, about 1 million shares yesterday, about 270 so far today. So, again, not real clear signals either on the highs or bottoms of most of these things. If there were a lot on either side of the camp, I would continue to be rather bearish. We may even pull back a little bit more today, but it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of juice pushing this market down, especially in the last couple of weeks of August. See if there's anything else out here. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to look at. We've got, a couple more minutes. I wanted to take a look at IBM. They were making some noise, see if that had any help for them today. Doesn't look like it. They said that they had some new products coming out and had made some advances in machine learning. Just unclear what those advances were. Talked about Intel earlier in the day with their new products. Well, I'm not going to say this one's been hurt at all by today's pullback. This one's kind of hanging around in that area. Let's take a quick look at Apple. Again, making higher highs yesterday. No real pullback today in the Apple one. SWKS, which is Skyworks Solutions. This one has kind of come down, but again, yesterday had a little spike. Volume was 1.3 million shares. You got 650,000 shares today, a little lower, kind of pulled up a little. We're going to have to start seeing some volume in these pullbacks if these things aren't going to just go flat. Does NVIDIA have a setup going into Thursday? I didn't see one, but we will take a quick look at that one. NVDA may be on the opposite side of this next break. Again, you know these things just hang up here with no volume, and the question is, is this thing a price line? I don't think so. I think the downside for NVIDIA comes maybe in the next quarter. I just don't know if there's any upside to this thing. Everybody and their dog's busy in machine learning. That's really driving this, along with gaming. AMD has been able to pick up some of that business. They've made huge money, though, in that gaming or in the machine learning side. But we'll look at this when we come back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Talking about NVIDIA earnings after the bell on Thursday night. And I got to remember this is a short segment now. But you know, you had a pretty good signal, but again, many have out here going into earnings. I would have taken my cash pre-earnings out here. Maybe, I tell you what, this one's one of the hardest ones because I know prices are down a little, but volume is up in all the cards that they're selling. The question is, how will the market react to slightly lower margins and probably significantly higher revenues? I think on the positive side, they're probably making more cash. Wall Street tends to be very nervous when margins start to come down a little bit. Now, you had their latest rev of boards, which are known as the 1080s, come out. Things did start selling for about $750 to $800. You can buy similar ones now for about $650. So they've come down a little bit. But they were in high demand for a long time. Now they've pretty much caught up. And that is the question. How is Wall Street going to look at slightly lower margins and significantly more revenue off those products? I think that's kind of built into it. When you look at the chart, though, you have to be scared of only having 18 million shares against a 92 million share high. So I would ring the register. I'm not predicting any kind of downside. This one may just be one of these that just goes sideways unless they have some kind of surprise that I am unaware of. So I think that there's probably not a lot going on in this one from the outside. Maybe the inside tells a different story on Thursday night. I would be out of this one, neither long nor short, nor a beggar. I'd be. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow, bright, shining, ready for another spectacular power trading hour.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.